In this video, we're going to be talking about Sun in Pisces in the 6th house natally, and what this placement means for you if you have it in your birth chart. And with that being said, what does the Sun represent in astrology? The Sun represents our talents, it represents our ego and our actions, and it rules passions as well, things that we enjoy or that come easily to us or that energize us, because the Sun is the center of energy in somebody's chart. It rules the 5th house, which is a fixed fire house, and it's associated with the sign Leo, which is the fixed fire sign. Fire is about action, and fixed signs are about a constant state of being. So fixed fire is about a constant way of acting. And that's why it shows our ego, our personality, and especially how our actions come across to others, and the quality of our actions, the quality of our character, and how we want to come across to others. So when the Sun is in Pisces, this is the sign of our imagination. It's the sign of our subconscious and things that are unconscious or below the surface. And it's about the surface as well. It's about the image that we project. So people that have the Sun in Pisces, they have a tendency for their personality to adapt or change itself to others. Because Pisces is about the waves. It's about the ocean. It's a mutable water sign. And when the Sun is in Pisces, it's in the 8th sign from its own sign. The 8th house is about the values or the psychology of others. And Pisces is about sensitivity or adaptability. So these individuals are sensitive to other people's values or psychology, and they change their character or their way of presenting themselves to appeal to different people. They have a very idealistic aura, and people can find them attractive as well and feel drawn to you when you have this placement. And people tend to see you as somebody that's very easy to get along with. But sometimes you have this need to withdraw and to be alone, because Pisces is about solitude. And sometimes other people's expectations or other people's eyes can feel draining to you, because you tend to always feel like you need to change yourself to get along with others when you have that placement. And in this case, the Sun is in the 6th house. The 6th house is associated with Virgo, and Virgo is the opposite sign of Pisces. And Virgo is all about the imagination of others. That's why it rules things such as details, specifics, science, whereas Pisces is all about vague things. It's all about possibilities, assumptions, and our imagination, our perception. Whereas Virgo is about, when you do scientific things or when you prove things. And it's all about organization. And that's a secret that you can use to your advantage, is that whenever things are organized, this is how it appeals to other people's imagination. That's how people believe something was intentional, is when it has some semblance of order to it. So when the Sun is in Pisces in the 6th house, this shows this ability to organize your perception of things, or to materialize your imagination or your creativity. And the Sun can show an aspect of our careers because it rules passions. And most people gravitate towards careers that align with their Sun sign or that align with their passions. People with the Sun in Pisces, they're passionate about creative things. They're passionate about filling in the gaps. They like to imagine things and to have a creative aspect to their careers. And when the Sun is in the 6th house, this is all about materializing your imagination so that other people can see it. So one thing about this placement is that these people are passionate about materializing their dreams or their creativity and making others see their perspective or perception of things. So maybe they don't like to create physical objects, which many of them do. But those that don't like to create physical art, they just have this passion for making other people see their vision of things and being relatable to others. And that's because the natural sign that has the 6th house in Pisces is Libra. Libra is all about the perception of others, the perspective of others. And the 6th house is all about the imagination of other people. So a trait that these people have that have the sun in the 6th house in Pisces is they're able to make their perception of things relatable, and they're able to make their subjectivity objective. They're able to make their imagination and their assumptions appear real or objective or factual to other people. But Pisces is all about projection. It's all about vagueness, and it's all about deeper things being under the surface than what is being portrayed. So really, this ability is just an expression of intelligence or logic. But a lot of times there's deeper variables, or there's missing facts. There's deeper things that you don't cover in your explanations and in your way of convincing others. There's a lot of lying by omission sometimes. But it's not really necessarily lying, though, in all cases. But that's something that as children, these individuals can have struggled with, is just always making like petty lies or always like justifying themselves. But usually people believe it, and it's very convincing. And since the sun shows career, and the natural sign, the natural ascendant for the 6th house in Pisces is Libra, this shows a affinity for law, like good at proving a case and making a point. And that's because you're able to break down your imagination down into variables. But again, Pisces, when the sun is here, and what I covered in the general meanings of sun in Pisces is that it's all about projection. It's all about a surface. So they're able to create this detailed explanation on the surface. But it requires a lot of like skipping over things. But people just don't notice because it's in their unconscious. The 6th house is about the unconscious or the imagination of others, because it opposes Pisces house, which is the 12th house, which is about our imagination. So you're good at proving your imagination of things with evidence or trickery, or with figures, observations, facts, statements that others can relate to. And sometimes it's just a projection, though. And you can get this internal feeling of imposter syndrome. Sometimes you can feel like vulnerable, like you can hide, like, because Pisces is all about insecurities and things that we hide, because it's all about ideals and projecting the ideals of other people. So sometimes like you just feel like there's a lot of things that you're aware of that other people aren't aware of, because the sun is like a light, and the sign Pisces is like the 12th house, which is about our subconscious or our reality, or like our imagination. So for you, your imagination is like a lit room. It's like a lit box that only you're seeing, but people are only seeing the exterior. And that's the type of sensation that can happen with the sun in Pisces. Pisces rules institutions and prisons. It rules imprisonment, and imprisonment is really just a reflection of our reality. Reality can feel like a prison if that is how we start to experience ourselves within it. So that's something I talked about in the general Pisces sun video, is that sometimes their ego can feel trapped, or they can feel like their ego is in a prison, or their confidence is in a prison, because they feel like they always have to adapt themselves to others or to society. But with that being said, in this case, since it's the 6th house, which is about proving your imagination to other people, and it's about the imagination of others, you always had this ability to do that. And you just inherently understand the variables that influence the perception of other people. You can have manipulative tendencies if you have displacement, but they often slip unconscious of others and even to yourself. Like sometimes you like to take advantage of other people or use them to your benefit, and you explain why them helping you can help them, or I don't know how you guys do it, but it's very good. So the other thing about this placement is they make great salespeople, great advertisers, and great marketers, because when the sun is in Pisces, it's in the 8th house from its, sorry, not the 8th house, the 8th sign from its own sign. And the 8th house is all about the psychology of others. And the sun can show passions or aspects of our career, things that we do on a day-to-day basis, things that we apply our energy to every day, because the sun is the center of energy in the chart. It's fixed fire, the state of somebody's energy. And it's the things that we rise and set every day. That's why it can really, really show somebody's career or things that they're passionate about. Sometimes somebody can do a career that they're not in alignment to their sun sign, and usually it's things that they're not passionate about. Like they'll do a career that they don't really like, and that's, the few times that the career can be out of alignment with the sun. But generally people gravitate towards careers that they like. And so these people can gravitate towards careers of sales people, advertisers, marketers, business dealers, like people that have to strike deals with others. And always this element of having to prove the value of something to other people, or to make people see your vision of things and aligning it to the psychology of other people. And this could have to do also with law and justice, because the natural sign that has the 6th house in this place of being able to convince others is Libra, an air sign, which all has to do with logic. And air signs have to do with intelligence. So this ability, like I said, is sometimes just an expression of intelligence or logic. It's not necessarily that you are telling something that's objectively true. You're just making people see it that way. So nonetheless, this tends to influence people's reality, because reality is really just an interpretation. And so for you, as long as you can make people see things in an ideal way, then they can see the value of your perspective. And that's the type of talents that this placement has. So with that being said, that wraps up what I wanted to cover for this video. And I hope that it was insightful and that you guys enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, or it resonated with you in any way, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. If you'd like a comprehensive natal chart reading of all of your placements, then check out the link in my description to my Patreon. And for other inquiries or specific questions, I also have an email in the description. So if that interests you, then definitely check those out. And other than that, I appreciate you guys watching and supporting in any way that you do. And I will talk to you guys sometime soon in another video. Peace.